And welcome everyone to Wizards Pregame. We got Cardo W. Jr. here. Wilson Tarpe Jr. The Washington Wizards are in Portland this evening. It's the front end of a back-to-back. The Wizards fell to the Warriors Friday night, 131 to 126. Portland's coming off a 193 loss to the Mavs. Before that game, they had back-to-back wins over the Nets and the Bucks. The Blazers are 37 and 38 on the year. Entering tonight's game, that has them in ninth in the Western Conference. So the Wizards are playing the two teams that are literally above the line of the play-in out west. Play the Warriors Friday night. So to them, the Warriors were in 10th. The Blazers are in the ninth. Portland is half a game up on the Warriors in that play-in race. Injury report. Washington will be without Trey Young, Trey Johnson, Alex Starr, Keyshawn George, Anthony Davis, Cam Whitmore, D'Angelo Russell. Portland will not have Vic Reggie, Jeremy Grant, Shaden Sharp, Damian Lillard, and then Robert Williams was questionable last time I saw. Washington won the first matchup of this season series in January. They won that game 115 to 111. Tonight is the final meeting between these teams. So, Cardell, what are the keys to tonight's game?
Yeah, it got to be a total team effort as far as, you got to rebound the ball. That goes without saying with this team. Obviously, a couple players like Flanagan and Denny and Drew Holiday, I'm going to get in and all those guys. They rebound by committee, man. They're sixth in the league in rebounds per game, 46.1. But one thing that they excel at is offensive rebounding. They average a little over 14 a game, and that's second in the NBA. You got to keep them off the offensive boards. If you don't, it could be a long night. Like, they could literally beat you off of second chance points. That could literally be the difference in the game. And they're big, they're physical, they're athletic up front, versatile. So the Wizards, they're going to have to find a body, man. You can't just watch the shot. You know what I mean? Fly out, contest, and just stand out there. You want to get in there and hit a body, man. Otherwise, it can be a long night in that regard. Blocks, we already know what that's about. Like I said, they're big and athletic inside, led by Klingon. That's a specialty. He protects the rim, man. He's a special talent. So you gotta keep that under control. Jump into him, go in there strong. Don't go in there passive at all. Because once he senses that, he'll get more and more aggressive to start swatting stuff. Also, free throw attempts, they're eighth in the NBA in that. They average 25 and a half free throw attempts. Now, they're not a good free throw shooting team. They're 25th in that regard, but they get to the line a lot. So you got to defend without fouling. And then three-point attempts. They're fourth in the NBA in three-point attempts, 42.1 attempts per game. But they're dead last in the NBA in three-point shooting percentage. So depending on the player, you can give him some, he with us type of defense just to see if he hit a couple. Certain guys like Drew Holiday and Kamara, they're shooting well from deep, so you can't really give them that. But Denny, he's a volume three-point shooter, but since All-Star break, his percentage has dropped. He's shooting 31%. He was shooting better early in the year. No Jeremy Grant, so I believe. No Jeremy Grant. He's out with a calf, so that you ain't got to worry about him trying to spread the floor. Drew Holiday shooting 37%. Scoot Henderson is a volume three-point shooter, but you got to watch him. 33%. And then Kamara, like I said, he gets 7 up a game, but he's shooting 36%. After that, that's pretty much the threats from out there. So, you got to know who's out there trying to take the shot, and then that'll tell you if you should kind of, contest and go out your way to try to deal with that. But individual players, we want to start with Klingon. Like I said, elite rim protector. He 7'2", 280, big. He's a big boy. And one thing that gives the Wizards problems is centers inside. Be smart, tough, mobile, and has great instincts, man. So again, you see the grades, elite. You got to jump into him or draw him and drop it down to somebody else so they can finish, man. That's your best bet because a healthy dose of just trying to attack him constantly, it ain't gonna go well for you. He don't play that, so it is what it is. Also, he's a great rebounder as well. He's one of the guys you got to keep off the boards. Averages 11.8 rebounds. He leads the league in offensive rebounds per game, 4.6. He's the big reason why they're elite in that regard and rebound, man. Also, a good finisher, lob threat, good hands. You can pass it to him in tight spaces, and he knows how to, gather the ball and go ahead and score and finish. Capable 3-point shooting. You don't want him having a healthy dose, but if he's trailing and the big is in drop coverage way in the paint, it's okay for him to let one or two fly just to keep it honest. And then if he hitting, it changes everything. You know what I'm saying? If not, what did you lose? So you're not getting a high volume with that. So, he shoots about in the low 30s. So it's something that he can, you can utilize to see if he's on that night to try to, expand the offensive sets and what you're trying to run and make the Wizards have to spread out even more. And then he's an underrated passer, man. I don't think he's getting enough credit. Yeah, he averaged a 2.1 assists per game, but as you see the grades, he knows how to make the right reads. He's a high IQ basketball player. He gets it done in that regard. So even if he gets going, you got to be careful with double team him because he will make you pay. You know what I mean? So obviously he coming from the school of Bob. I mean, not Bob, but school of Hurley. So he knows how to play the game, man. Dan Hurley, so he knows how to play the game. Next up is Denny. Abdia, former Wizard. You know how I feel about guys that play against their former team. They always want to show them what they're missing, like your ex girl, ex dude, or whatever. And he's their leading scorer, averaging 23.9 points per game. All-Star year, obviously. Very good rebounder, 6.9 rebounds per game, just under 7. So you gotta like he's one of those guys you gotta keep a body on, and he's averaging 6.7 assists. A great playmaker, man. So he can kill you in multiple ways. He's a 3-level scorer. He's a rebounder, and he's a playmaker. He can run a little point forward as well, man. So whoever's guarding him, which I'm pretty sure a lot of the Wizards wings, they have great depth at that. They'll throw a lot of wings at him to try to keep him in check and contain him, keep him down. So you do that, you hurt the Blazers a lot because they run a lot of stuff through him if you can contain them. Obviously, the Drew Holiday, one of my favorite players in the league, one of the greats of this era and all time. I call him the modern day Sidney Moncrief for a reason. He just gets it done on both ends, man. Ultimate professional pros pro. He's fourth on the team, averaging 15.9 points. Second on the team in assists, 6.2, averages 4.5 rebounds, 1.3 offensive. So he's another one you got to really keep a body on, and 1.1 steals. But his shooting splits was what impresses, 45, 37 to 82. So he's efficient from all 3 levels. I know his reputation as being a lead defender, and he can guard honestly, he can guard 1 through 4. Honestly. You see that 220 pound, that's 6'4", 220. That's a different ball game. That's why he can guard 1 through 4, and he ain't tripping off guarding 5s either. He just a dog. That's what he do. You know what I mean? So, but with that being said, he's more than that. Offensively, he's an efficient scorer from all 3 levels, and you got to deal with that. Unless he can make the right reads, he can run the team and all that. So he can, whoever playing guard, the Bubs and all those guys. Guys that are primary ball handlers, yeah, man, you gotta be careful with Drew. He can make it a long night for you. You know what I mean? And then on the other end, you gotta guard him. So, and then keep him off the glass. You do that and just stay with it for 48 minutes. Again, you can kind of neutralize his impact. If not, he can disrupt a lot of things on both ends and make it hard for the Wizards to be in position to win. And last but not least, Tamani Kamara, elite defender, elite. Point of attack, he gets it done, man. He just sound, very sound, and he doesn't get undisciplined. Long, athletic, guard 1 through 4 as well. He does it all the time, so you gotta be careful how you attack him. Your best bet, kind of attacking him where he's on the move, and then making quick decisions to try to get into your shot or make a pass. Trying to attack him straight up, ISO, that ain't gonna work. It's just he ain't going for that, man. Especially with Klingon back there, that makes guys like him and Drew Holiday lives a lot easier. I could pressure you because fine, go past me. He back there waiting on you. So that also helps. Then he's an adequate 3-point shooter, man. Shooting 36% from deep. So he's the 3-and-D term. He fits that mold to a T. And averages 5.2 rebounds per game, 1.6 offensive. So he gets it done in that regard. So, and he definitely gets it done. 1.1 steals as well, man. So, and only 1.8 turnovers. So he's very good with the ball. So, take care of those four, kind of keep them under control. You know, the Scoot Henderson's a capable, Caleb Love got at him before. Uh, Vic Krisick, he did as well. Robert Williams is back. Law Williams, you know, I felt about him before the injuries and stuff. Another big athletic big, controlling the paint. Um, you know, he averages 16.8 minutes per game. Guess how? But he's second on the team, 1.5 blocks in 16 minutes. So you don't get no relief in the room. You don't get no relief, man. So flow the game, going in strong, or your flow to running game better be on point, or it could be a long night, man. But those are the keys to the game. Those are the players you gotta look out for the Wizards. And if they could disrupt those guys, man, they give themselves a good chance.
And as always, that big thing that Washington tends to have issues with sometimes. You mentioned it with you Holiday to Monty Kamara. It is imperative that you take care of the ball tonight. Don't don't fuel easy transition points. You named all the reasons why Portland is a very good defensive team. The last thing you want to do is add to that equation by turning the ball over. It's not like they're gonna give it back to you. It's already hard enough to score on them. So don't make your lives a living hell. It's already gonna be tough enough. And credit to Portland is one of those teams that kind of switch things around rather quickly in order to play in. Like you mentioned, made the trade for Denny and whatnot, and Sumani, boy, is a hell of a pickup for them. They made a couple trades and drafted decently, and look where they at right now. Like they right in the mix.
One last thing that the Wizards could try to capitalize off of turnovers. Portland's dead last in the league in turnovers. They average 17 and a half turnovers a game. So uh, get them throwing bad passes and get on and run. That's one way you can neutralize the size advantage that they have inside. Them bigs can run, but if you constantly turning the ball over, they're not gonna be able to get down the floor quick enough to try to stop that, man. That's how you can make up for possible spurts of where they're killing you with second chance points and all that other stuff, man. So just something to want to look out for.
All right, those are Cardell's keys to the game. We'll check in with you guys afterwards. Tonight for Wizards Outlook as always. Enjoy the game, guys. We'll see y'all then.